Since UPSC CSE 2026 notification has been out, aspirants have been in panic and in stress because of not just the changes that have been brought in, but also the scope of no correction at all later. And this is something that has been finally understood by UPSC, taken recognition, acknowledgement, and they have brought major updates which will be a important relief and respite to the aspirants. Hello everyone, welcome to Vajiram and Ravi. My name is Shubhangi Singh and today we are going to talk about these two major updates that have been brought in by UPSC, which are very important for you to know because that gives you a window for correction and facilitation of change in terms of services preference. Now for the updates that have been brought in, you can also access these updates and understand these updates directly from a very important article that has been put up on our website. What you have to do, you have to go on Google and you just have to put UPSC correction window updates of 2026. Right there, the first article that you see from Vajiram and Ravi, you will have a clear understanding from this very article of all the changes that have been brought in. Now, let us start with the first change that has been brought out, that is regarding the service preference change. Earlier, based on page 11 para B5, there was clear provision that no change in service preference will be allowed after the submission of application form. However, there has been a new clarification and update. You can go and see it on the UPSC official website as well, where in the highlights section, you will clearly find that they have updated this provision. They have said that change in service preference will be allowed during a specific updation window. Now, this updation window will be provided after mains 2026 and when the result of it has been declared. That means once the result of mains examination 2026 comes out, and that is when this updation window will be opened for you to make these very changes. So if at all you have not thought this through, you have not given it a detailed understanding and you want to correct certain things, then yes, you do have an updation window later when you can think it through and make changes regarding your service preference if at all required. Now in this context, this is a very important change because the application window is merely of 20 days and with so many changes, it is very difficult for aspirants to finalize and look into finer details of the service and place their preferences accordingly. Now this updation window will be a great respite. Once you would be done with the mains examination, you would have a fair chance and amount of time to look into it in detail and then decide your preference. So no worries on that front, UPSC has ensured that. Now on this very note, let us move to the second major update that has been brought in. Second major update that has been brought in, that is 3-day correction window. Earlier rule was that there will be no change. Even if you make one spelling error, there will be no change permitted under any circumstances at all. Now, in this context, the problem here was even minor issues and non-verification can lead to rejection of your application and loss of candidature as well in the later stages. So a lot of applicants were in a panic situation because such errors could have been made, and that was a difficult position because if in stress or hurried way the error was made, then how it will be corrected. Now UPSC has revised that provision, and again in the highlight section they have clearly mentioned that once the application deadline happens, that is the closure of application window. Now please remember, the closure of application window is on February 24th of 2026, 6 p.m. After that, you will have 3 days. So you have this updation window, and this is for Civil Services Preliminary Examination, Indian Forest Services Preliminary Examination, which will be conducted through CSEP examination of 2026. So this is very important from the perspective, if you had by any chance made any error, please make sure that you look out for this updation window. If you haven't filled up your application yet, make sure you fill it with full thought and go through it 2 to 3 times so as to ensure that there is no error at all, so that you don't need the updation window. But if you do, then yes, UPSC has come up with this provision as well. Now, one important note to remember here when we are talking about this updation window, all the fields might not be available for updation because core eligibility that cannot be changed or manipulated at all, but the likely fields which will be available for you to update and upload would be around basic personal details if there are minor errors around it, Aadhaar details, uploaded documents such as signature, photo and also live photo, and then we have category certificates. So in this context, these might be the editable fields which will be available for you, but if you think all the core eligibility criteria that can be altered, that would not be probably possible. Now that was all from our end. If you want to go back and see the details, as I mentioned, you can directly go on our website. The article is right present there. You can see all of this that I have mentioned. You can see all of that I have mentioned is present in that article. You can use it for your reference. Now that was all from my side. Thank you so much.